Welcome live to the Edward Fowler Show on this lovely Monday evening here from Manchester, UK. If you were watching last Wednesday, we had Jack Rose on, another singer, and we kind of abruptly ended that video. It wasn't planned. I lost internet connection, just wanted to put that out there. So in case we lose connection again, just for the put out there, this show may end abruptly, by not on purpose, just for the put out there. But we are joined though this evening by a great singer slash songwriter from, I believe, from Liverpool. And I was saying to him as we were off there a moment ago that the only thing we may disagree on is the football teams, but apart from that, would be great. And here he is, Jamie Webster is here. Welcome to the show.
Hello, mate. Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be talking to you on this lovely Monday night.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have somebody else on as well from the UK as well, because you're great. I've been listening to your tracks, and I thought, I'm going to try and reach out to you, and here we are, which is quite good. Yeah. But I mean, how have you found the last year?
Well, before the lockdown, it was going bloody great.
Yeah.
And then, obviously that all, come into play. But yeah, no, I've been getting by okay. I've been, writing. I've wrote the second album now, so that's wrote and demoed the second album. So that's a good chunk of work that I've got out the way during the lockdown, which probably had I been touring, I would have found it much harder to complete. So, I'm taking positives from it. I've learned how to, I've bettered myself on the piano a little bit more. Bettered myself on, obviously, the guitar a little bit more. I'm just doing what everyone else has been doing, really, I suppose. Going out for walks, bike rides, runs, doing a bit of exercise, trying to eat a bit better. But yeah, other than that, there's not much else that you can do. Obviously, the football kept me going for a bit when it come back last season. Although this season it's not been too great for us Liverpool fans, well, the last few months. So I wouldn't mind a little break from that at the moment. But, we won last night, so I'm hoping that we're going to start, moving forward again now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, just probably what everyone else has been doing, just trying to pass the time as productively as possible. But, we seem to, hopefully, touch wood, we seem to be coming to the end of it now.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so.
Yeah. I don't take anything that they say very seriously, and I don't trust anything that the government tell me, or this government anyway. But, you've got to think that things, just for your own well-being, I think you've got to think that things are going to start changing soon. And yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone who's stuck with me throughout the last 8-9 months. And, while it has been hard for us singers to get content out there and to connect with our fans, my fans have been absolutely brilliant with me, and I feel that we've almost got a little bit closer throughout all this, and I'm just looking forward to seeing everyone now in a big, in a live venue, loads of sweat, loud music, people jumping ale, getting thrown everywhere, and yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to now.
That's good to hear. Now, of course, we'll get onto the topic of your rescheduled tour in a little bit, but when I was Googling you this morning, was still saying that you were going to be live tomorrow in Glasgow. Of course, that's not going to happen. But for some reason, all the other shows are being, we schedule. But according to the internet, according to Google, it says that apparently the Glasgow show, all the other shows, are going ahead tomorrow night. So that's what the internet says, which is obviously not true, obviously. But I mean, I don't know why they're not also say reschedule underneath that. But that was something I found funny as well this morning, as well as the video you shared of the government with the Friends remix of their policies over the past number of months. But there you go. But
yeah. Well, as opposed to the Glasgow gig, I better get myself down there then, haven't I?
Yeah.
If I've got to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, in front of nobody, because nobody can come to see you, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah. I know, mate, I know. But, maybe Glasgow's a nice city. Maybe I'll go down there with my girlfriend for the day anyway, just for something to do. But, as about talking about that video, as I said to you when we were offline, I have got a guilty pleasure for the show Friends myself. I think it's quite I just think it's funny, you know what I mean? It's sort of light-hearted, and usually watch it now when I don't feel too well, and it normally lifts my mood a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it was bang on. No, it was while it was funny, I thought everything he said was true. What he said in it, giving the jobs to the boys and just basically fucking everything up for everyone over the past 8 to 9 months, more than it already was. But you got to laugh at these things now, I think, haven't you? And
you do. You gotta find some laughter and everything at the moment to keep your spirits up and to get that motivation, to start your day and whatnot. So it's a good way to start my Monday morning anyway, when I saw that this morning. Of course, if you're watching live, feel free to leave a question for Jamie, and I'll ask him your questions on the air. Of course, if you're watching on demand, that you missed your chance to ask your live question to Jamie. But if you're interested, leave a comment right now, and we'll get them into Jamie in a few minutes or so. Also want to know as well this, because while the lockdown was going on, you were somehow still able to create new music and whatnot, weren't you?
Yeah,
and how were you able to do that with despite the restrictions and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but like obviously the album, we finished recording the first album, We Get By. We finished recording that the day before we went into lockdown. So for that, we were okay because restrictions weren't actually in place then. But for the Live at Par Street album, we just had to keep to the 2-meter rule.
Yeah.
Make sure everything was nice and clean in the studio. Well, obviously that was down to the studio, and yeah, obviously when we were in the mixing room, we had to keep our masks on. We all made sure that we'd had tests before going into the studio and stuff like that. Everything was, safeguarded properly, and as everything has to be these days. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was quite a lucky little thing to be able to get back to a little bit. And albeit it's not normal to sit in a studio with a mask on, but at the same time, it was a little bit of normality for me. And just that in itself, it picked me up for a couple of weeks. I felt like life was back to normal for the time that I was making music, and it give me a spring in my step. It gave me a bit of purpose in the morning to get up and go to work, obviously, which is something that I really do need and something that I look forward to. I also had the chance to perform a couple of socially distanced gigs before the second 2 lockdowns.
Yeah.
So after the first lockdown, the day before we went into the second, I got to do a social distance gig, and then just before Christmas, the 19th of December, I got to do one in Liverpool as well, which was those were really, I think, not only for me, for the lads who played in the band with me as well, and for the fans who come to the gigs. It was a little escape for the night, if you like, and yeah, it just give me the assurance that it's going to be there when it comes back, and people are more hungry for it than they ever were. In terms of fans, people are dying to get back out to a gig and listen. And make no mistake, when I get out to that gig, I'm going to give those fans, a gig to remember, and I'm going to give it everything I've got, like I always do. But
but
even more,
you're going to make it more special, aren't you? So sorry to interrupt you, but you're going to make it more special and make it more meaningful this time around when you're able to do that. Hopefully late this year.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's nothing more that I can do but just be myself, and I think myself will want to be in that room more than anybody else that night. And if I can display that in my performance, then I know that the punters will be going all happy, and it'll be a good night for me. A good night for me rather. But yeah, hopefully, if what we're told is true, at least by September we should be able to do what we love doing best.
Exactly, performing.
With no restrictions and stuff like that. But hopefully anyway, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we're going to see that day very soon.
Yeah, indeed. We got a comment coming in from our YouTube chat called Chris Jardin. I forget how you pronounce it. If I did mispronounce it, I apologise. He says, well done with everything. Love the album. Can't wait till the next gig. Do you miss the Sparky work at all? And he also says, P.S. Can I get your plectrum after your gig?
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, with the plectrum, if you come to the side of the stage or you come to the stage and shout, "Give me your plectrum" as loud as you can, and it catches my, attention, I will 150% walk over at the end of the gig and I'll give you my plectrum. I will do. I normally throw it into the crowd anyway, so if someone stood there asking for it, then I'll definitely give it to them. However, if there's 5 people fighting over it, then it will just get thrown in the air and, it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
As opposed to the sparky work, obviously for those who don't know, I was an electrician for 9 years before I signed my record deal and started, doing this for a living and doing it professionally. So, there's aspects to it that I really don't miss, having to get up at 6 in the morning and sometimes drive to Manchester and work all day and get home at 8, 9 o'clock. And, I definitely don't miss that side of it. But, while I've been in this lockdown and I've had, basically all to do, I have actually missed getting up in the morning and going and having a laugh with the lads on the site.
Yeah.
But at the same time, me and my girlfriend have moved into our first home, so I actually got my tools back out for a couple of months, just for myself, and had to sort the house out, and got done a bit of sparking work amongst other things, and it was quite refreshing to do it. Like I say, give me a bit of purpose. It was nice to see an end product or something after all this waiting around. But no, I definitely, if I can help it, I won't be going back to do it full time anytime soon. If I can help it, I'll stick to the music, and because it's the dream. It is the dream job to be able to do this, to get up in the morning and know that, your day can consist of just writing a song, and that's what I love doing, and listening to music, getting into music, playing music, talking to people like yourself, Edward, just sharing my stories with people. That's part of my job now, and even like the Liverpool side of things that I've done, it's an unbelievable way to earn a living. It's I think the only job that I could think could be better than this is maybe playing for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the only thing to do better. That I would be happier doing.
Yeah.
But that's never going to happen because I'm nowhere near good enough.
Well, never say never. You may not play professionally, but you may cross paths with him for a soccer aid or something on the lines of that in the future.
Yeah, you know what? I've never actually thought of that. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's a great shout. I think if Jurgen was managing a soccer aid, I think I'd definitely be getting words to him to get me in the team or get me in the midfield.
Yeah.
But it's for me. It's all music from now. It's obviously I still sing the football songs and I will still do that. We still have the boss nights that we do. But for me now, the driving force and the driving point in my career is, writing music about real life, about day-to-day life, about working class life, about, injustices, about justices, about everything. I'm going to try and put it all down in song form. And, at the end of my career, I want 10, 11 albums, of songs that are just about real life and that relate to people like me and people like you, people who might be watching this now. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I want to represent them. I want to be the song. I want to be the voice of their generation. I want to be the voice of their livelihoods. And I'm going to strive and work as hard as I can to do that. And obviously when it comes to live, I'll be singing those songs with more passion than probably anyone could ever foresee. Definitely more passion than I've heard on the record, because obviously there's not like a live gig. But yeah, I just can't wait to get back to it all now. I know I keep saying it, but it's for people who will be listening and watching, I just want them to know how much I've missed the interaction with them, how much I've missed like being able to practice my trade, on that stage. And when it does come back, it's going to be one to remember for us all, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the UK is looking forward to hopefully when that happens. Hopefully be later this year. And if Chris is still watching, I'm just curious to know what gig are you planning to go to see Jamie at? Are you planning to see him later this year at one of these rescheduled events or sometime in the near future? If you are still watching, let me know. I would love to know. But speaking about your lyrics and name of your titles, then how do you come up with those? And do you I'm just curious to know, like, do you have a certain place in your studio, in your house, or somewhere near where you live you go to find your inspirations, or did it just come to your head as you're talking maybe with your girlfriend or something?
I think the ideas for songs come into my head at all sorts of different times. Like I'll be thinking about something. I'll even be talking about something that's actually going on.
Yeah.
Or something that's going on between my friends, and I'll think, oh, you know what? This is actually like this situation is good to write a song about. I won't literally write it about them, but I'll use that and I'll store that in my head, and then I'll just think about like that. That'll give me a topic to write a song about. The titles, I suppose, they come from the songs. Like I won't particularly. A lot of the time, I won't write the title of the song first. I'll often be the last thing that I do. So I'll start off. I'll think of a concept to write about, and then obviously what I do is I sit. I used to have a practice rehearsal studio that I worked in all day, but now since I've moved into the house, I've just got like a sort of home studio / writing space. So I play the guitar I tend to play the guitar and figure out like the vocal melodies and stuff in that little rehearsal studio in my house, along with the piano in case I'm trying to work out anywhere to take the melody. So I'll work out all like the music for it, and I'll think of my topic, obviously. And then when it comes to actually writing it, I like this table that I'm sat on now. It's sort of at the back of my living room, and I just sit here late at night and write. I like to write lyrics late at night because I feel that's what you're in, sort of a dream space then.
Yeah.
And that's when I like to. That's when I think my most profound lyrics come out, and where I'm thinking outside the box a lot more. So I just sit here then for hours and I'll write the lyrics, and then I'll sing it line by line by line, and then over the next couple of days I'll hammer the song out. If I've finished it, obviously, and then whatever I think is the catchiest sort of words in that song. Like, for example, in We Get By, it's just a catchy end to the chorus. There was no way I could have called the song anything else. Some of the times the songs name themselves. Other times you'd have to sort of look for the catchy sort of hook in your lyrics that would look good on paper to people who would be looking at the song. But yeah, and obviously the inspirations for the song come from within me and from things I've seen, things I read, things I hear. It's not. I could never write about something that I don't know about. You know what I mean? I think, if someone was to say, I'll write a song about drinking champagne and, sitting in the back of limousines and, sitting at VIP tables in nightclubs and stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to do it because I've never done anything like that. That's not where I've come from. That's not where I want to be either. So, like I say, I want to represent people who go through real life, trial, tribulations, joys, escapes. I want to write about all of that, and write for the normal people, the everyday working man and woman. That's who I want to, like I say, that's who I represent, and that's who I always want to represent. So yeah, that's where it sort of comes from. That's like the process behind my songwriting. But then again, sometimes it could just all come to you at once, and you sit down wherever you are and you put it together. There's no right or wrong way, but they're the ways that I like to do it. And yeah, and another thing is I try not to force it. I wait until it comes to me, and then hammer it out. But yeah, it's things are looking good at the minute. The latest what I've done for this album, definitely I think they're the best group of songs that I've ever written in the space of time. I'm really confident. I'm looking forward to for people to hear them.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of them, buzzing with them, in fact. And
that's good. That's good.
Hopefully they go down as well as I think that they will.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
If not, at least I like them.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? But I'm sure the mass majority of people who support you will also love your music as well, your new album, when it comes out. Joy, when you were speaking then, there was a lot of interesting background noises coming from you there. Is someone cooking or something in the background?
Yeah, my girlfriend's actually. I'm moving around on a chair. I can't sit still, so that might be part of the problem.
Ah,
But
right.
no, my girlfriend's actually. Yeah, she's cooking a curry at the minute.
Oh, very nice.
She's just, from what I can hear, she's just putting the veg up. No, she's a brilliant cook. She's been teaching me actually over the past few weeks now that we've moved into our own house together,
Yeah.
and she actually works throughout the day from home. But I can't rely on her to make me food whenever I want now. So she's kindly teaching me how to cook, and do you know what? I'm enjoying it. I've learned also a couple of my mates used to be chefs, so one of my mates taught me how to perfectly, make a perfect poached egg, and I'm very proud. I know it's not the hardest thing in the world, but for me, like I could up until a week ago, I could only make beans, toast, and pot noodles. Like that was it for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I can make bacon, eggs, put sausages. I can make a breakfast. I can, I've learned how to make a couple of chicken dishes and stuff like that. So, hopefully, I'm looking to go and do my second album in a residential studio where we go and live out in the wilderness in a studio in the middle of the woods for a month or 2 weeks or whatever it takes to do the album. So we'll all be cooking ourselves and me and the band. So I thought I'd better get a bit of a head start so that for when I go down there, I know what I'm doing and I can eat so that I can, eat all day so that I can make the record all night.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's been giving me loads of tips and she's a brilliant cook, as well as my mum as well. But she's Rachel, my girlfriend. She's like, she's a good person to learn from. So hopefully, when we go down to the studio to cook up the album, the lads in the band will be happy with the food I'm cooking up as well.
Yeah. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I'm sure they will as well. Well, they better not, otherwise I won't cook for them the next night and they can just cook for themselves, can't they? But
true, they're good.
Yeah. But no, I'm sure. Even if they didn't like what I was cooking, they'd still tell me it was nice anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, just to be nice and just not cause any arguments or anything like that.
Just for the well-being of the album, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for the atmosphere in the studio, maybe, because I don't take criticism too badly, to be honest. So if they told me my food was shit, it wouldn't be too long before they were telling me that they thought the tunes were shit. So hopefully. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Just to say as well, you were making us getting us very hungry there. So maybe in the future, maybe we could see you on MasterChef, or maybe even on Saturday Morning Kitchen Live. Maybe in the future, that'd be quite interesting to see you do any of them programs in the future.
It would be. I'd have quite a laugh on them, but I'd have to get a lot better at cooking before I step into those sort of territories. Like, it's not. Funny enough, I do enjoy it. I get a little bit stressed out when I do it because I'm quite new to it, but I do enjoy it at the same time. So, you never know. You never say never, like you say, but I think once my profile gets a bit bigger, people might want to see me do other things other than singing. But at the minute, I'll just stick to letting people see me sing until I'm called for to do anything else.
Yeah, don't blame you there. Let us say that Chris, go back to my question, which I was curious to know. So he says he thinks it's a Friday night in Liverpool in December sometime. Don't know the date. He can't remember the date. He says, I will send Jamie a message on Insta on the day and hopefully he sees it. Cheers. As well, if you do have a question for Jamie, leave a comment in the comment section below, live right now in the live chat, like Chris is doing, as he got a question for you. So I get to in a moment, but I got another question for Jamie about regarding the background and stuff like that. So I'm liking the ornaments behind you there, and do you get much inspiration? Could we ever see you maybe venturing out to making a song out of any other things behind you?
Well, these behind me here, like it's between like me and my girlfriend. Obviously, this is just a leaf. This is a moon. My girlfriend's really into the moons, all that sort of stuff. Good energy and stuff like that. She likes to do that sort of thing. This is I don't know if anyone can see where I'm pointing.
Yeah, we can.
That is off Pulp Fiction. That's one of our favourite films. It's the scene where they do the dancing Jackrabbit Slims, and it's got that song, You Never Can Tell, which is a great song. This is Koh Samui in Thailand. This is where me and my girlfriend actually met, funny enough. Yeah, she's not. She's from Liverpool, actually. She's not a Thai bride. Before anyone thinks that I've got myself a mail order bride, no, that's not true. No, she is actually from Liverpool, and we were both on holiday out there at the same time. This is Amsterdam, or as I like to call it, my second home. It's probably it's definitely my favourite city outside of Liverpool. I've been there, over 20 times on holidays with my mates, and when I used to go to the matches to watch Liverpool in Europe, we'd always sort of try and get to Amsterdam on the way home for a night and have a good night there.
Fair.
That's Alex Turner. That's obviously the singer of the Arctic Monkeys. They're my girlfriend's favourite band. But obviously, they've been a big influence to me as well. And that question's already answered a bit, because they have definitely some of the songs in my second album, or at least one of them has definitely got a bit of an Arctic Monkeys vibe to it. This is just like a little picture of the sunshine, because again, my girlfriend loves the suns, the moons, all things like that. Mm-hmm. She's a bit of a hippie dippy. That's the Beatles drinking tea up there. The Beatles, obviously from Liverpool, so they're a big inspiration to me. And I also love a good cup of tea as well, Edward. So that's nice to be there. This one here, I don't know if you can see that. It's mushrooms, fungi. We're into that here in this house. They're just a couple of little paintings of flowers, because my girlfriend does a bit of floristry. And the very end one is the Glastonbury tour. The Glastonbury Ribbon Tower.
Got ya.
Which is it's like a sort of like a monument in Glastonbury Festival, which is my favourite ever place to go in the world ever. Probably will be until I'm a bit too old to be going there. But it's like a playground for adults. It's just a magical place with everyone's in a good mood, loads of boss music, just boss people. Normally get a good bit of weather there. Touch wood for the next one. And yeah, that's the wall behind me. That's like the sort of the vibe going on in our house, I suppose.
I do like it, and I was wanted to know what they all meant to you, and I'm sure maybe your fans may want to know that as well. We do have a few questions coming in. Keep them coming in. We like your questions, say, on the show. The only show I think where the hosts ask all your questions. So please leave them. We got two coming in, one from Chris and one from Hannah, both regarding your guitar. So Chris wants to know who or what or why got you into playing the guitar, and how did you discover you could sing and write? And Hannah wants to know, what was the first song you learned on the guitar? Both great questions, by the way.
Yeah, they are great questions. I actually enjoyed this stuff, like the people sending live questions.
Yeah, this is why I do this live, just for that interaction with people, as well as the possibility of anything could go wrong as well. So that's the reason why I do it live.
Yeah, we love a good calamity, don't we? But yeah, no. So the first question, what got me into playing guitar? Well, it was actually my mum. My mum was like, she loved the guitar. She loves music. She tried to learn a little bit when she was younger, but she felt like she was never pushed enough, and she didn't really have the opportunity to learn or get lessons or anything like that when she was younger. So she said when she had children, she always wanted them to be able to play an instrument. Now, this was fine in hindsight, but as a 6-7-year-old boy, the last thing I wanted to do was pick up the guitar. I wanted to go outside and play footy in the streets and do stuff that like every other lad my age was doing. It was only when, obviously, but I was going to lessons, practiced, not as much as I should. And then it was probably I think I stopped when I was about 11 or 12, because I was listening to rap music at the time. I wasn't even, I just love football. But then I think when I was about 14, I picked the guitar back up, because I fell in love with likes of the Beatles, Oasis, Kings of Leon and stuff like that. And it just opened the door to for me wanting to pick it up. And I remembered a thing or two, and I just sort of taught myself from there. And that from then on, I was a proper music head. I was just bugged. I was listening to new music all the time, always trying to learn whatever I'd listen to. What was there? There was another part of that question, wasn't there?
Was it the first question I asked you, or was it regarding the
first one, the one from Chris?
Oh, okay. So he says, night. Got you playing the guitar, and how did you discover you could sing and write?
Oh yeah, the singing and writing. Do you know what? It's the singing just sort of happened. I was singing in my room one day, so I thought I'd give it a go. And my mum and dad sort of opened the door and said, like, that's quite good. That you want to keep on at that. It's quite good. So they said, can you sing any more? So I sang a few songs. My voice wasn't great starting out, but it was then someone who I was talking to in school, it was the guitar teacher in my school, who said that your voice is like a muscle, and like the more you work it, the better it gets. So that was me then. I just started singing, and I knew my mum and dad would probably think I was good because I'm their son, and everyone's mum and dad's their biggest fans, aren't they? But it was once my mate started saying to me, good that, lads, really good that, you're getting good on it, you're getting better and better. Like, my mates are the type of mates who tell me straight off if I was shit. Do you know what I mean? They just say, that's a terrible mate. Do you know, in a good way. It'd come from a loving place, like, but they'd love to take the mick a little bit and tell me how bad I was. Do you know what I mean? So once they started saying that they thought I was good, I thought, well, it must actually be okay. And then started gigging and stuff like that, and it just sort of went from there. But that's how it come about. You know what I mean? It was just sort of happened, and yeah, I'm happy. Very, very happy it did, to be honest. The first song I learned was, this is to Hannah who asked the question. It was "Songbird" by Oasis.
Good choice.
Yeah, it's a very, very easy song to learn. I'd learned a couple of chords and stuff like that. I think Summer of '69 was the first song that I tried to learn, and I learned like the first 2 chords, and then couldn't play the other ones because they were too hard for me to stretch and change my fingers to at the time. So then, it was a mate of mine who's actually played guitar for me now. 10 years later, after we left school, we started playing together, which was a lovely coincidence because he's an unbelievable guitarist. So he sort of told me that like "Songbird" by Oasis was a dead easy song to learn, and he basically told me how to play it. Like I remember being sat in art with him, and he sort of told me how to play it. And then I went home and looked at it on YouTube. There was a tutorial of how to do it, and that was the first song I learned it that night. And yeah, so that was the first one. And then you know what? It's the first song for most people to learn. If anyone is looking to learn the guitar and they've got a guitar at home, and they're looking for, they've been meaning to learn to play it or whatever, go on, pick it up. If you know the song by Oasis, it's a great catchy song. Even if you don't know it, you listen to it 1 or 2 times, you know all the words. And literally get on YouTube and just type in "Songbird" guitar tutorial, and there'll be a million people telling you how to play it, and it is literally the easiest thing to do. And well, it's not the easiest thing to do, but if you practice it enough, you will get it. And you know what I mean. It's loads of fun and shit like that. It'll pass a bit of time, especially while we're still in sort of a lockdown, looking for something to do. There's a little tip from me anyway.
Absolutely, sorry, absolutely indeed. Great answers to both those questions. Hope they answer your questions. If you have more questions, bring them in, question them, and we'll try and get to them as fast as we can do. There's more of Jamie Webster in just a moment, because coming up next on the Fowler Show later this week, we have Angel B coming on the show, who's also another singer and song artist, coming on this Thursday at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Hope you can join me for that one with Angel B. But let's talk about now with Jamie regarding his new tour dates. There it is on your screen there. His rescheduled tour. He's going around to many different places around the UK, and most of them are either sold out or almost sold out, and they've all been upgraded as well. Perhaps, Jamie, you can let us know what that means by being upgraded. Does that mean the venue's got more spaces, or is it in a completely different venue?
Yeah, most of them are in different venues. One of them has been upgraded to the bigger room in the same venue, which is the Belfast one. Just moved up to the Limelight 1. Which is like the bigger room, similar to like the O2 Academy, where you'd have a couple of different rooms. But no, the venue upgrade basically means that the last gig that we didn't get to do sold out. So that because obviously, say the last one, all all of those venues on the last tour were sold out completely. And we felt that, like, you know, obviously they were over a year, like, you know, over a year difference between the original date and when they were actually being played. So obviously that year, it's given a lot more people a lot more time to listen to my music and, you know, hopefully fall in love with it. So we felt that, like, you know, with these gigs still being a long way away, it'd probably be best to do them in bigger venues so that more people would have the opportunity to come and see me and the lads play the tunes. So that's all that means, is that it was supposed to be in a smaller venue, but it got sold out. So we've moved to a bigger venue so that more people can come.
That's good.
Those tours are, like, you know, like the Glasgow gig, for anyone who's watching, that is like very, very close to being sold out. So if you're in Scotland and you're looking to come and see me, then I'd recommend you get on that quite quickly, because we're not upgrading this venue once this one's sold out. It will be, that's it. It's a SGW3 or SWG3, which is 1,000 cap, and that's unbelievable to be able to go up to Glasgow and, you know, play to 1,000 people. You know, so that's really almost sold out. Newcastle, that's got literally, that's in the tens of tickets left. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they're the two that are closest to going, the furthest north as well, funny enough. So yeah, if you're out from any of those areas, get on them, because it's, you know, they won't be available for much longer. Likewise, you know, I think everywhere's really moving really quickly. So they're definitely all over half sold out. You know what I mean? So if you do, all edging towards 3/4. So if you do want to, you know, get there and see what I'm like live, get on it quickly. And, you know, I'd love to see you there, and hopefully, you know, we can have a good night.
Yeah, hopefully so. So, as he says, you better get your tickets, because you can either be there or you can be squared. Moving on to some of this, because I got another question for you about when you release your first album and, you know, your single, like, you know, with different topics you may be talking about. Were you expecting the reaction you got, or did you think it may take a few months longer to maybe get what you were looking for, but you got that quickly fast, to say, when you released it?
Yeah, I mean, but I think first and foremost, it's probably best to throw out there that me, like most musicians, will never be happy with what they've got. You know, we always want to do better all the time. And that's like everything in life. That's human nature, I suppose. But no, I did not expect, like, it to blow up the way it did, you know, on release week especially. You know, I think we had a target of sales and a target of, like, chart position that we wanted to hold on to. And that was, like, originally when I signed a record deal, we wanted to get the album in the top 40, top 50. It ended up coming in at number 6, which was, like, mind blowing. You know what I mean? The support that, you know, and the people had shown for it really did. You know, I was a couple of times that week, I was close to tears, just, like, so happy that people were, more than anything else, people were relating to the music, and people felt like that, like I was writing for them, and, you know, like, felt like that they could relate with almost every song, and certainly some of the songs. Do you know what I mean? And, like, people telling me that the songs that help them get through, you know, bad times and stuff like that. Like, that's what you do it for. That's what you need, to interact with people, to make an impression with people, to, you know, to be in their mind, to you know, to really like connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, whilst the opportunity to do that in a live environment was took away from me because we were in lockdown and stuff like that, the fact that I was getting all this interaction online and all this love for the album, it really, really did, like, you know, in a way, it made up for the gigs that I wasn't able to play, because you know, I put my heart and soul into that first album. It was my whole life's work. I put my heart and soul into everything that I do, but, you know, for the debut one, it was a really nerve-wracking thing. I didn't know how it was going to go. It was a sink or swim scenario, and thankfully, thanks to all the amazing fans and supporters that I've got, and the amazing management that I've got, the great record label that really work around me, not me working around them. They work to get it right for me. thanks to all those people, you know, I was able to have an unbelievable couple of weeks there, and I'm still, you know, it still blows my mind when I see people like. Funny when you're driving around the city and you hear people listening to your songs in the car and stuff like that. It's quite a surreal thing, and it's something that you never quite get used to. And you know, I'm very, very thankful for it. And like sometimes I do pinch myself to check that, like, you know, it has still happened, and I'm not going to wake up being 17 years of age, you know, on a building site again. But you know, it's unbelievable, and you know, I just can't wait to do more of it. Can't wait to be able to release records and play gigs again. You know what I mean? Like simultaneously, hand in hand. It's been an unbelievable ride these past 18 months, definitely more than anything else. Or 2 years now. You know, you forget how much time we've spent in this lockdown. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable ride. Like the from start to finish, the reception I've got from the ground up, you know, it's just been phenomenal. I know I've thanked them a lot in this podcast already and in previous ones, but I really can't thank the people, because what I do doesn't work without the people who you know, who support it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like a singer's nothing singing in a room on his own. You know what I mean? You know, and a singer is not on the radio without people listening to him. Do you know what I mean? So like, it goes hand in hand, me and the people who listen to me. So like, without them, I'm nothing. You know what I mean? So long may it continue, and hopefully, not hopefully, this second album is going to blow people's minds. You know, and the stories that I'm telling, the melodies, everything. You know, again, I've put absolutely everything into it. I've done all that I can. I'll always do that, and it's just a big slice of me again, this second album, and a slice of reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully. Well, no, I mean, if it could chart in the top 10 again, I'd be absolutely overwhelmed. If it could get any better, you know, I'd probably faint. But yeah, you know, let's hope we can make that happen.
Fingers crossed for you. And if it does, I would love to see you do a reaction video, or maybe someone filming your instant reaction to see what it's like. Because I bet it'd be pretty priceless to see your facial expression of getting, hopefully, maybe number one. That'd be quite interesting and very cool for yourself. And that leads into my next question, because I want to know, where would you like to perform in front of in the future? You know, hopefully things will go back to normal and you're able to go travel around. Where are some of the places you would love to perform in front of?
But like, I mean, I think the Holy Grail, if you like, is Glastonbury for me. The Pyramid Stage at Glastonbury. I know it's not too far away from Liverpool. Well, it's a few hours away, but you know, I know it's not exactly the other side of the world. But Glastonbury is the pinnacle. And then, you know, like every musician, you know, with the Liverpool songs that I do, I've like obviously Liverpool and Man United, like, you know, Team Edward. Yes. You've got fans all over the world. You've got massive. The global franchises nowadays. And you know, with what I've done with the Liverpool stuff, I've been fortunate to travel the world and play music to Liverpool fans in America, Australia, you name it, you know, the Middle East, Asia, all over the place. I've been there and I've been able to do it, Europe, whatever. So to be able to replicate that with my own music would be the next dream, you know, a world tour. I'm not talking bloody, I mean, obviously it would be a dream to do a world tour of arenas around the world, and stadiums, but, you know, there's a lot of work to do before I get there. But, you know, to get out of the country and do it, get out into Europe and play to even like 500 cap venues around Europe, you know, 1,000 cap venues in America. It's a very, very hard thing to do. So it'd be a great, you know, I'd say great accomplishment, a great sense of accomplishment from it if I was able to do that. But at the same time, to be able to play, you know, the arena in my city, the M&S Bank Arena, or formerly known as the Echo Arena, that's obviously a dream for me to be able to do that. You know what I mean? It's they're all things that I'm hopefully looking forward to doing. There's just like, you know, to do the best thing that I can in my city and get out of my city, and you know meet people around the country who have the same mindset as me and like my music. that if I don't get to the great heights of America and Europe and that, I'll be happy enough with this tour that I'm doing next. Do you know what I mean? I never. It's beyond anything I thought I could have ever done in my life. You know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I was working on a building site with some of these songs that I've released now in my back pocket, and I thought I'd never get the chance to play them to anyone. I thought that they'd never get the chance to be released and be out there on radios and playlists and, you know, streaming platforms. These are things that were, you know, they were so far from my grasp a few years ago that, you know, if you'd have told me that I'd be doing it now, I'd have probably told you to get lost back then. So, you know, so for me, if I could, even if all those things I've said don't happen, what I've done now, I'll be more than happy with, you know, and even if it all falls down and, you know, turns to water, like, at least I've had a go, you know what I mean? And no one can ever fault me for having a go, and I'll have given it my best shot. I can guarantee everyone that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do wish you the best of luck. I do hope you get to achieve the places where you do want to, you know, perform in front of, you know, in Glastonbury, and then going hopefully around the world and performing in front of 500 to maybe 50,000 people. You know, you have to start somewhere, and I'm sure you and you are on the right track. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next year for yourself. It'll be very cool to see how far you come within, you know, as you say, 3 years of when you began, and, you know, 3 years later you've got a big social presence on, you know, on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook and such. So, you know, you got a lot of people liking your work and following your work, and I do hope that continues over the next 3 years as well. Hopefully, maybe in 3 years' time, you could be on national TV. Who thinks about that? Maybe you never know. You might be on the late shows on in America and whatnot. That'd be quite very, very cool indeed. Do you have any other projects when you're not doing music? Are you involved with any other projects, or is it all music for you?
No, I like to, you know, I like to get involved in the community as well. You know, I do my bit for charity. I'm an ambassador of the Old McVie Foundation, which is a charity which helps young children and their families. You know, when children have got cancer, it supports the children and their families throughout, you know, the obviously traumatic experience. So, but obviously, I'm very close to that. You know, I'm one of the 3 ambassadors for that charity, and very proud to be. I also, LA, which is obviously a Liverpool song. When I released that all the proceeds from that, all profits, went to a local charity called An Hour for Others, which is just basically a charity within the city of Liverpool, which helps people who don't have the privileges that we have, and just, you know, they just go the extra mile to give people what they need basically, and they don't have, and it's an unbelievable charity again. So we've raised nearly 50 grand for that charity to date, which is amazing. Yeah, other than that, you know, that's me in a nutshell, really. I also like to go down to the Florence Institute as well in Liverpool 8. You know, a good mate of mine, Timo, he's a community worker there, a community leader, I should say. Yeah, so I like to go down there and do my bit with him when I can. Yeah, it's just, other than that, you know, just spending time with my mates and shit like that. No other projects, really. None that I can speak of, anyway. There might be a couple of things in the pipeline.
But I'm sure we'll get announced soon on your social media.
Definitely will. But before that, you know, until then, I'll have to keep my lips zipped.
Yes,
but
we don't want you to get in trouble.
Yeah, but there's plenty to come from me. Lots and lots to come. Looking forward to it all. Yeah.
Well, speaking of your social medias, we have been showing them on the screen throughout tonight's show. You can find them on Facebook, Jamie Webster, Twitter, Jamie Webster 94. Obviously, your name must have been taken on Twitter by somebody else, an imposter. And on Instagram, it's Jamie Webster Music. Very unique, different social medias to try and keep you on your toes, people. It's working very well for you, I have to say. But if you don't know, if you're not liking him on Facebook, if you're not following him on Twitter or on Instagram, you should do so. You know, keep in the loop, see what he's doing, support his music, support what he does in his local community, and many other things, because I'm sure he's going to be a bright star which many more people will hear of hopefully in the next year. So make sure you do like him, follow him, and all that good stuff, and share him around, as Well, and that is it. I do appreciate you for coming on the show, and I do hope it's not too long before you have your curry as well. I've not heard your girlfriend making any more wacket in the kitchen, so
No,
it must be nearly finished.
It's ready to eat. I can smell it. It smells lovely. I can't wait.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you come back on again.
I definitely would do, mate. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you to everyone for listening. Thanks for all your support.
You're welcome indeed, and it's been a pleasure here on the Fowler Show. But before we end it, I just want to say as well that don't forget I'm live again this Thursday with my guest Angel B. Thursday 6 o'clock UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the West Coast. We'll be joined by Angel B, who is a singer/songwriter who is doing very well for herself. She's based in America, so she's on the show this coming Thursday. Hope you can join me for that. But that is it. I do hope you enjoyed this episode of Jamie Webster. He was a great guest, wasn't he? Great guy from Liverpool, and he'll be back on the show again soon. Hopefully his tour will go ahead later this year, because that's the first time I'll be able to say you can see this person in this city on this date. It's the first time in about a year I've been able to do that, so it's great to say that once again. If you did enjoy it, though, make sure you do like it on YouTube. Give the video a like. Make sure you share the video around to all your friends to expand Jamie's presence, expand my presence to your friends, to tell them about this is the best kept secret on YouTube. Tell them that this is the A show to be able to ask your questions to the guests I'm interviewing. And hopefully you can also smash that subscribe button. This means you can always be notified when I'm live here on YouTube with a guest of mine, because we bring you the A entertainment of the evening on any given day. And until the next episode drops, enjoy the rest of your Monday evening or Tuesday morning. And there'll be a clip coming out tomorrow from my interview with Jamie on my social media. So if you're not already, follow me on my social medias down there on your screen. Good night, everybody.